I am Noi Tupou. And the hat I'm wearing right now is as the program director of Ike Kaiaulu, which is our community engagement program, formerly called service learning. So under that hat, I am just trying to do things that get people together, whether it's 2 people or 40 people. Hopefully, as this series continues, we will have more and more people. Why don't we do that? Say a little bit about where our background and who we are. And I think we kind of already sort of did that, but not from you, Leanne. So actually, why don't the 3 of us do that? With Leanne starting. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Leanne Ferrer. I am the executive director of Pacific Islanders in Communications, and it's a company that funds films with Pacific Islander stories. And so we are not only perpetuating the stories, but perpetuating the oral history and the way of life of Indigenous people passing down their stories. So I love that we're doing that with the vehicle or the medium of media and film. Right now I live in Waipio, Hawaii, and I'm very close to a lot of big box stores. Like I'm in like a triangle of 2 Walmarts and a Sam's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good. I don't think that's good. And yeah, I'm sorry, not 2 Walmarts, 2 Costco's and a Sam, 2 Costco's. And I am getting used to working from home. I fought it at first. I was depressed. I cried. I didn't want to be home alone and not being able to interact with the people I work with and the people I love and everything. But now I'm getting used to it, and I feel it's a good thing, and it's really saving money in so many ways. Gas, clothes,
so
shampoo.
True. True. So true.
So I'm done. Whoever wants to go next.
Okay, I'll go next since on my screen I'm right under you. Okay, I'm Noi Tupou, and as you already know, I'm a teacher at Windward Community College in Hawaiian and Pacific Studies, and I've been teaching for 20 years. 20 years? 20 years, since 99. My family is from Kohala, Big Island, and Makawao, Maui. And I grew up in Aiea, and I currently live in Manoa. And I'm married with 3 children, and they range from ages 10 to 19. And I know. And the oldest is in New Zealand now. Living in New Zealand, going to culinary school. So that's me. And as you can see from my beautifully long name that no one else has, I am a lover of film and literature of Oceania, and hopefully teaching the literature of Oceania next semester, I hope. And then following that will be the film of Oceania the following semester, so in a year. So that's me.
We've known each other for 17 years.
Yeah.
I'm doing the math and I'm like, oh my God.
17 years, because Timote was 2.
Yeah.
When we came back from New Zealand. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Amazing.
Cool. Okay.
Can I ask questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so Waipio Oahu?
Yes. So it's Oahu, but it's in I'm sorry, I said Hawaii, so there's several YPOs.
Yeah, no, I was like, ah, you're in Waipio Valley.
Yeah. Oh, I wish. I wish. No, so that's why the Costco's. Yeah. No.
Yeah, and then I was
Central.
like, Costco's in Waipio Valley?
Oh, I wish. Oh, wouldn't that be a nice place to have that stay at home?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about koki frogs.
Oh, oh man. When did I go back to the Big Island? It was just last year, and I stepped off the plane and I could hear it in the airport. And I was like, this is bad.
That's bad. Okay, so you're on Oahu. That was obvious after you started talking about Costco. And then, Noi, I wanted to ask you what city that your son is in university in the New Zealand.
He's in Auckland, in South Auckland. Yeah.
And I had another question for you, and I forgot it. I should have written it down.
It's all right. You can ask later.
Yeah. I should have had a thing. Anyways.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How about where you're at?
So I was born and raised in Kailua on Oahu. I'm one of 8 kids. We all went to a private school called Le Jardin. They changed the name Le Jardin Academy now. And then when my sisters got into Punho and I didn't, and I was going to go to Kailua High School, my family moved to Laguna Beach, California. And I was trying to get back to my home for years. And I finally did. And I lived in Hauula. And I finished college and everything. And then this is my very first time back into Hawaiian studies. I'm so grateful that I found it. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I love it so much that even if I don't do anything with it, a job, I'm learning and loving it so much.
That's awesome. That's good.
And I lived in New Zealand. I lived in Keri until they kicked me out. Yeah.
Yeah.
With their immigration.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty strict.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yes. I know. I kind of go back and forth between that. It's like, yay.
Literally.
Literally.
Like, I didn't overstay though. So
well, that's
I
good.
can go back.
Oh, good.
That's good. Probably not right now, but you can eventually.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did look into that, and it's not going to happen.
No, unfortunately not now, but yeah. Okay, well, thank you for introducing yourselves. I appreciate that. It kind of gives us an idea of who's who and what's what. All right, so I'm just gonna put up one slide real quick, and it kind of gives you the gist of what exactly we are doing today. The point or objective of the monthly series that I'm putting together, and this is the inaugural first one, so it's pretty exciting. And I just wanted to basically connect people, and so that when we are able to get back together, we'll be able to connect each other and hopefully bring community into the classroom and classroom into the community. So I think that it's really important. And as you can see on the bottom, it says, how can we build these relationships without coffee, without food, without popcorn in my lap, without face-to-face, or even without hands in the aina. So how are we going to actually make those connections and online? So I just want to brainstorm with as many people as possible so we can think about how to make those connections. Because we're so used to doing it over food, over hands in the dirt, and face-to-face. So how can we make that shift? So that's the kind of overall objective. And you've already met Leanne. This gives a little bit of background, but so did the flyer. The flyer had a lot of information about Leanne, who is the executive director of Pacific Islanders in Communication. And to me, the obvious one way that we can get community into the classroom is the idea of bringing film into the classroom. I mean, how better an avenue than to bring film in, yeah? So that is, you know, kind of why I reached out to Leanne, so that we can talk. Plus, she's a very good friend and somebody that everybody can feel very comfortable with. So yeah, that is one of the reasons I reached out. One of the first questions that Leanne had, well, who is this community? Yeah, who is the community we're talking about that we want to bring into our classroom, and who are the people that we want to take out into the community? And many times in the academia, as a whole, many times there isn't a lot of going back and forth between community and the classroom. And some attribute that to the ivory tower. You know, I am the master of all knowledge, and you will come and listen to me, and I will tell you all my knowledge. Well, I've never had that philosophy. I've always had the philosophy that we are part of a larger community, and if I can connect what I talk about in my class to the community, and the community can connect to what I'm talking about in my class, to me, that's a much healthier kind of way of learning, because you've got to take what you learn on either side of this community and share it with each other, because that's how you create community. And I think community is much healthier than the silos that are sometimes created in academia. So this is my philosophy about what community are we discussing here, and how can we make those connections between the classroom and the community. So that's kind of where I was going. I put together some talking points, some ideas of things that we could discuss during our conversation. And my hope is that everybody that's here can join in, throw in, and, you know, don't feel shame to just, you know, well, that sounds interesting. Let's talk about the fourth one, or the second one, or the first one. So what is your manaʻo on the whole thing? What do you think you would like to add to the conversation so that we can further the discussion? So I've done the first two. No, second one. What community are we discussing here? What does community look like in your new normal? So we kind of started talking about, you know, this new normal that we're in right now. And maybe we could ask Leanne, what is your new normal in both professionally, personally, whatever your community that you want to talk about? What is the new normal looking like for you?
Well, professionally, for our industry, you know, you guys have heard about theaters and closing down, and even when they opened back up, people weren't going in to see films. A lot of the content that people were showing in theaters and elsewhere, screenings in person, have gone online. So that was a really not a simple pivot, but it made that movement of taking this these films and streaming, it just made it much faster. And now we're I think it with this, it had the industry leap like 5 years ahead, at least minimum. It's still very up in the air as to when people are going to return to production and creating films. Some are working, some, and what's really hard is now in the advent of coming back on the set to work, you need to have a person just in charge of the COVID-19 watching. So they need to take everyone's temperature. They make sure everyone has their PPE on, that they're social distancing, and it's a constant. Like that is now a part of the crew. You know, that person is part of it, and yeah, it brought additional costs, but it also,
True.
in hope, it's keeping everyone safe. I have been seeing some of the films that have gone back, especially a lot of them moved over to England to shoot because England had allowed film production again. I've been reading that people are getting sick on sets, and so who knows how it's going to trickle back to the US. Robert Pattinson is Batman, and they were in England or London, and he got sick with COVID-19. So, I mean, that's
Makes
a
you
big
wonder.
name, and that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes you
yeah.
wonder, is it
And
worth
if
it?
that,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I mean, it's negative and positive for us. And the positive is people can watch our films from the comfort of their homes. And
Yes.
I'll type in our piccom.org. That's our website. And if you go there, we have right now our PIC Summer Film Festival, and we have 4 films in that one. And then we also have Pacific Pulse, which is a short film series. So we have 2 seasons of that. So
Yeah.
if you guys, yeah, I don't know, Noi, did you go on our Pacific Pulse yet?
I did, and I also got the email today about the film festival, which is really cool. I'm like, ooh, extra credit for all my students. And what obviously it makes sense for me to put them as extra credit because they're all the things I teach about, of course. But besides that, it can be used as curriculum. So I think that this is one of the reasons why I wanted to connect people to PIC, so that they could, you know, put it into their curriculum or their syllabus. Yeah. So that would be really another place that we can start going, is to know about this. And we have wonderful librarians at WCC that could perhaps try and give instructors information ahead of time so that that could be put into their syllabus. So that would be a really good connection as well. If they were, you know, cued in on what's happening on the front of the stuff that is streaming. And there are much more, like we talked about yesterday, there's so much that is streaming and available that wasn't before because people are sharing. Would you say that anything here in Hawaii with filmmakers and the films that they have been, you know, kind of keeping close to their hearts and not sharing because of film festivals, has that changed at all in the amount of the sharing that's kind of the new trend now? Or are they going still through the film festival circuit, but now it's coming, I'm just curious, personally, if they're sharing through festivals and stuff.
Yeah. The film festivals have really pivoted. Everything is online. I just talked to the executive director of San Diego Asian American Film Fest, and he said that producers and directors are afraid because they're afraid that people could capture or download their films. So they had to create a proprietary streaming option that, you know, they're like, okay, we're not just putting it out on Zoom or what have you. Like, this is our streaming platform. And so I think there's some fear out there, but then there's also some excitement because now the Hawaii International Film Festival doesn't have to only be in Hawaii. People from all over the world can watch films from it. And I think it's a perfect time for these festivals to really market themselves and show their branding and what their specialties are, because each festival has their own little niche.
Yeah,
I think that's exciting times.
that is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited about doing my film class and trying to incorporate all of those things that before I used to say, okay, we're all going to meet down at Dole Cannery and we're going to, watch the film, this one, and this one, which I approve for class. You can write a paper on these films. But now that's just, going to be a whole different thing now. Yeah. So that's kind of exciting.
And that's the con of it all too. That's exciting, but the con is that you don't have that shared experience, meeting each other at the theater, seeing the film together. Being able to be, in the audience when a star or a producer or director speaks afterwards.
Yes.
So, but I think now there is more access to, anyone connected with the film, because now anyone can just call in from wherever they are.
Yeah. So Zoom meetings, of course, are going to be probably part of the film festivals because you're going to have people that are going to want to sit and, talk story about that film we just watched. So it is exciting, but it is sad because I need popcorn. So it's a different experience completely.
It is.
But I guess.
And without all the distractions at home too. Right?
True.
That's another thing.
That is another factor, because HIF actually was where I used to, the Hawaii International Film Festival is where I used to ditch my family for real and just disappear for a few days at a time. And then, include them sometimes when I felt like it. So yeah, there's pros and cons. Yeah. But streaming film is definitely something that can be pulled into curriculum for sure. What other questions did I have? I guess
I was going to ask Miley if she goes. Miley, do you go to film festivals?
Oh, can't hear you. Can I unmute her? There you go.
Have you attended film festivals?
So,
yeah.
I've been making some notes as you guys were talking that social media for myself during this time has increased exponentially. And I've also at the same time been in some therapy myself, and he has reminded me to, instead of complain, to be grateful for the things like the silver linings. And so the silver linings for this COVID thing has been that the Zoom classes, I've attended more Zoom class. Well, I've never had a Zoom class in my life before this, but I've attended classes on the Big Island, in Japan, in Molokai. I've learned all of, so even you guys, even right now, I saw this on my university, or I'm on Instagram, I'm on Kako Oiwi, Ho'oulu Aina, these nonprofit organizations that are coming out. I would never have this opportunity. So there's new words like pivoting, evolving, surviving during this time. And yes, I'm like, I would go away and everyone would be like, where's Miley? The last one that I went to was in Los Angeles. And it was a big, huge Pacific thing. And I saw Justin, what's his name? I don't know. I don't know.
Justin.
The singer?
No, he's
filmmaker?
A filmmaker.
Yeah, the one that made Justin. Yes,
yeah.
Chong.
So I think there's one called Hawaii Sun. It's about George Helm.
Yeah.
And
you saw that? That's not fair. I didn't see it.
No. I have not seen that.
Not fun. Okay.
I saw it kind of it was in Waikiki something.
Oh yeah, sidewalk
Um,
on Waikiki.
Down on the
Yeah.
sidewalk. in
Down on the
Waikiki.
sidewalk, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
But
hard to watch.
I did listen to him speak. Yeah, I listened to him speak. I was super into it, but I'm just trying to see the positive of this. So the access to social media, the Zoom classes, and the opportunities. Like right now, I'm not in Hawaii. I can't.
Oh,
No, I cannot go to these things. So
okay.
I'm actually very grateful for this time that I've had these opportunities to meet with you, to go to school, because I have a 6-year-old who goes online every day. I can't work, I can't do anything except for that. So like right now, I'm so grateful, even though it sounds crazy, to be able to do this because I wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise.
That's
Yeah.
true. It has
Oh,
opened it up to a
exactly.
lot of people that didn't have that ability to go to school in Hawaii, being somewhere else. And we just started an AA program that is get your AA in little 8-week sessions. They just started it. The sign up is in October 2nd. You can get your AA completely online in Hawaiian Studies. And
Where
that
can
is
I,
really cool.
Where can I get information?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
It is,
Because I have a friend who wants to get a
yeah, and it's like it's already planned out for you in little 8-week sections, and yeah, you can get your whole AA online. And we just are starting a new cohort in October, so that's a huge opportunity, even if you're on island. But those who are off island, who are like Miley, just wanting to be here. And there are a lot of people who just really would want to be here, but for whatever reason, because of many times cost of living here, but missing home, what a perfect opportunity. So I'll get you that, that link. And yeah, that is a silver lining. Probably one that got pushed forward so fast because I've been teaching online for 10 years. And you know, we were just the other option. We weren't really the main thing. And now everybody's teaching online, which means I'm no longer somebody that is, wow, no, I can teach online. I'm just like one of the other teachers now. But yeah, so it's opened up a lot of new opportunities, and that's exciting for sure. Cool. I think, Miley,
can I do a quick plug?
Yeah. Oh, plug.
No, so Down on the Sidewalk in Waikiki and Hawaiian Soul, the Georgetown film, we funded them. So they applied and we gave them, they can get up to $25,000.
That's right.
And they did. And then they have to raise the rest because you can't make a film on $25,000. But it's seed money, and it got those 2 beautiful stories out. So Hawaiian Soul is going to be in HIF this
awesome.
In November.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh,
that's great.
Unmute, Miley.
They filmed it on Molokai.
Yes, yeah, and they really had the whole support of the Helm family behind them.
So good. I went to that film festival in Los Angeles last year, and I was so grateful. So yes, I miss popcorn, and I miss so much the talk story and the social aspect of it. But I was so into, I don't know if you know this other film, Leanne. It was about something like they were building an emu, and it was like West Side. And the son came home to talk story with his dad, and he had been out of jail, but he lied and said he just got out or something.
It was such an ominous film. Did you see it too, Noe?
Yes, I saw it.
I'm thinking there was Pico in the name. It's not Capico. We didn't fund it, but when I watched it, I got chicken skin.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I was just wondering what's gonna happen. And
I love
that. I do too.
That was a good one.
That one, I think that one is it's in the Tahiti Film Festival. So,
So
I love
cool.
that.
I wonder if films
Yeah.
like that, because we're now all online, do you think there's more opportunities for our Hawaiian filmmakers because of not, I don't know, would it open up more doors?
I think it does. And I think what else it does is it gives people more of a chance to see these films and then say, I want to make this. I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I got into cultural films because I was in commercial and films, Hollywood type. And then it wasn't until I was asked to work on a very small, our ice cream floats and sundaes, right? A
Yes.
small film that was funded by PIC, that I was like, no, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
So I think this will open up a lot of people's eyes. I was going to say the reason I asked Miley if she went to film festivals, because I know you and I always go, Noi, is that it's a different breed of people. And I do that too. You know, when HIF is on, I'm gone. Nobody sees me in my family. But it's a different breed of people that expect more from their films and want a different experience. And so I don't know if having it streaming will still bring that experience across, but I think and I'm hoping it'll open up to more audiences, a wider audience. Because even though like we fund a bunch of different films we actually give them money to have a Pacific showcase. Even though we do that, no one in my family goes to film festivals. I'll be like, I have passes, come with me. And and it's this mindset. I don't know what it is.
Call me. Go with you. Yeah, it's true. I think more people will definitely experiment because number one, we're at home and we are looking for an escape. We have more free time. My husband has talked to more of his childhood friends since this COVID thing and we're home. He has found friends and called and talked story with them. You know, we have more time on our hands, I think, even though I'm working my butt off, somehow it brings home things that are important to you. And we get to be with each other, even though I'm tired of being with everybody. But I think the silver lining thing is it focuses your attention to things that you didn't focus on before. And I think the film will be something that people will seek out, partly because they're tired of watching mainstream things on Netflix. The film festival will be something I think that they will seek out. And I think social media will be the way that it will be shared and, brought to the forefront. So that's an exciting thing that's going to happen, I think. Hasn't happened to me yet because there hasn't been something that I have seen except the thing that you sent out today. I'm like, oh, I got to go look at some of those films from PIC. Yeah. Unmute. Unmute. I know, I hate that.
My son was squealing in the back. So you're on the special educators email, so you get those different things that when we have them.
That's why. Yeah, that's awesome.
Miley, if you want to sign up for our newsletter, and you can have access to everything we offer. And
yes, please.
Yeah.
So I wrote down it's PIC.
Oh, piccom.org.
Piccom.org. Yeah, I wrote that down under your name. So is that where I find where to sign up for that?
Yep, you can sign up for our newsletter. You can go direct. They'll have little boxes if you want to watch our Summer Film Fest or our Pacific Pulse shorts. You can click on it. They'll take you to YouTube.
So I'm sure that this is, I don't know, I'm not sure of anything, but I watched Hamilton. And just because it was on Disney, and I was like, I want to write like a Hamilton version of the monarchs, of the 8 monarchs. Like, I mean, I'm so into it, and I think it's
That'd be
maybe
so
because
cool.
I'm just such a dork, but I just feel like people would be so into knowing that like the Great Mahele was for the people, you know? I mean,
Yes.
wouldn't that be crazy that if they did like a Hamilton version of King Kamehameha III?
That would be so awesome.
No,
Do it.
Yes.
Write it.
I'm gonna
and
do
then
it.
Yeah.
We'll hook you up with a
I'm gonna write it.
filmmaker, and then you can make your. My husband
I'm
does
gonna do
theater. There you go. He can do it
Yep.
with you. He can collaborate with you. It'd be so awesome.
The other thing we were talking about, it might be easier if you go this route, because then you don't have to write rap songs. But we're saying like
True.
Downton Abbey or the Queen.
Oh, yeah.
And follow that with Hawaiian.
Well,
monarchy.
you know what? I get
That would
sick
be
to my
awesome.
stomach when, you know, there was Aloha, I think it was
Oh,
called.
yeah.
I know, it's disgusting. And then there was like that one about Ka'iolani.
Yes, cringy, very cringy.
Cringy.
And
And
they
I just-
they forced that relationship, and yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my mission.
That is a cool
It's
mission.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. So when you're ready, you come back to us, and
Okay.
we'll set you up. We'll
All right.
hook you up.
That
I
would
might
be
need
really
a
cool.
couple bucks. Okay.
I chatted to everyone, the pit where we were born. That was the name
Oh,
of the
yeah,
How
yeah,
was
yeah.
it?
That was so
Yeah.
good.
And it was because the
Yeah.
father was shoveling out the emu.
The emu, yeah.
He was a good actor.
It was so
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
didn't go there for that. I went for the Waikiki sidewalk one,
Mhm.
but I ended up loving that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Was it in-
heavy.
Was it in a showcase? Was that somebody's phone, or is that somebody
Sorry,
trying to?
no.
Okay.
That's my phone. Sorry.
I was like, hey, that sounds like somebody trying to enter
I'm
really
sorry.
late.
I
That's
should
okay.
mute.
Like, oh, I thought they were all coming in. Just really late. I also put in the chat the AA online
Yes.
program in
I
Hawaiian
already cut
Studies.
and pasted it.
Yeah. So good information there about the new program, and I think the deadline is October 2nd. So,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it looks
Oh,
like we're kind of at the end of our hour, but I want to, before we run away, the last thing I just wanted to share was, so it's going to be the next few months. Lisa, turn it down. These are the people that are lined up for the next few talk story sessions, and should be lots of fun, lots of good, fun people. So we're looking forward to a couple more sessions, and hopefully I can do it once a month, at least until May, when we have summer again. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
Fun. I know
Yeah.
Kevin and Tolua, so I'm gonna show up.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be fun.
Me too. So, are you gonna send those out via email?
Yeah, it'll go out the same way
Okay.
it went out before. So I will keep you
Okay.
guys on
Thanks,
the list of special people in my life.
Yes, you're
Yes.
on the list.
You're on the
I
list.
feel super grateful that I had this opportunity, even because it was so kind of small, to
Yeah.
meet you, Leanne, and to talk to you, Noi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I loved
it is. It's
it.
fun.